Back at it again, and oh boy, MSDNC melting down all over again, and I am loving it. I am loving it. You know, I feel like a McDonald's commercial. Ain't that McDonald's slogan? I'm loving it. It's a glorious time. What a time to be alive, right? What a time to be alive. Anyway, like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
As many of us were glued to the New York criminal trial, Trump quietly scored victories in two other legal battles just this past week. The judge overseeing his class.
Oh, wait. It wasn't quiet. At least not for us. Maybe for mainstream media, you know. But carry on.
Last week, the judge overseeing his classified documents case postponed that trial indefinitely. And an appeals court in Georgia has actually considered removing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis from her election interference case following a request from Trump. Both developments play straight into the former president's strategy of delay. Joining us now, Justice and Legal Affairs analyst Anthony Coley. He's the former director of the Office of Public Affairs and former senior advisor to U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. Andrew Weissmann is back with us.
So it's not just me on this whole thing with Judge Aileen Cannon. You have Senator Blumenthal, Richard Blumenthal, saying this about the ability of Judge Cannon, her abilities and what she's doing. Let's take a listen.
Okay. There are increasing, well-justified doubts about the ability and the experience that this judge should have to deal with this kind of challenging case and the kind of aberrant and seemingly erratic decisions made by this judge, I think, raise serious questions about whether she should be sitting on a case that is not only high profile, but also highly challenging in terms of the legal, logistical, and other issues that are raised.
You know, Anthony, at the end of the day, and I want to be very careful because, you know, we have immense respect for our jurists and the judges and the trials and the process. But there is such a thing as qualification and capability, given the immense importance of a case. And we know the rotation system in Florida just happened to land on her. I guess this is a two-parter. Why didn't, you know, the U.S. government, the DOJ, say, you know what, this trial is too important to put in the hands of an inexperienced judge? One. And two, when they didn't do that, but then saw the wheels coming off this, because we all saw where this was going with the delay, that they didn't step in and change up.
The curious case of Eileen George. When people.
So basically they're saying, why didn't they interfere in the trial just to ensure that they got a conviction? I thought this was the party of law and order, as they like to say recently, right? They're not. I thought they were the party of facts in getting rid of misinformation. Doesn't sound like it to me. Do they not understand that there are people who have been sitting in jail awaiting trial, you know, their trial to finish? One is in the why am I drawing a blank? Fani Willis case. She's prosecuting a RICO case against a rapper by the name of Young Thug. He's been in jail for like 2.5 years, but now they're trying to rush Trump's case through. Like, and there's other cases I'm sure that are ahead of Trump's, even in Florida, right? But you got to get Trump's through. Like, no, there's other people that have to get their cases heard too. Why? They have every right to get their cases heard. Why should they have to sit around and wait? And why should we rush the case with the former president as well? Don't you want to get it right with the facts? You can't do that if you're just rushing along. You might miss something. But of course, it's not about the facts. It's all about just, we got to get Trump. Just got to get him. And now they're showing it. They're telling you right there on live TV.
Wheels coming off this, because we all saw where this was going with the delay, that they didn't step in and change up.
The curious case of Eileen George. When people say that the fight is fixed, this is the type of stuff that they're talking about. You have a woman here who, Michael, she intentionally appears to be dragging her feet, and she's proving herself to appear, in my opinion. She's proven to be a MAGA activist in a black robe who's giving Trump exactly what he wants, and that is unintentional delay. And some people will say, you know what, she's an inexperienced judge, that she is up in this satellite facility up in Palm Beach County, that she's dealing with classified documents, and that requires special handling. And all of that may be accurate, but at the end of the day, like, she is ignoring settled law. She doesn't appear to have an appreciation for the rules of criminal procedure. And I'll give you an example, Michael. Next month, she is holding a day-long hearing to determine whether or not Jack Smith, the special counsel in this case, has been constitutionally appointed. And as Andrew Weissman knows, that case is already, that's an argument has already been decided, right? And so, I mean, she's a MAGA activist. She has a MAGA slip underneath this black robe, and her slip is showing. That's what's really happening.
Andrew Weissman, she a MAGA activist in a black robe with a MAGA slip up under there.
She's a MAGA activist, but they say nothing about I believe his name is Judge Merchant, with the whole Stormy Daniels case. They don't say anything about that. He's not a Biden activist, right? And see, that is the issue with mainstream media. And I actually had this conversation with a couple of Democrats the other day. I said, we need to get back to the news being just the news. And they honestly agreed. Still got some work to do on those folks, you know. Got some finagling to do. Hey, listen, the Democrat establishment has really grabbed a hold of some of these Democrats out here, and it's hard to like break that grip. So you know, hey, gotta massage the truth in, you know, periodically from time to time. So for those of you that are having conversations with folks the same way that I am, okay, if you come across somebody that's a bit stubborn, even when you start showing them the facts, just be patient. Be patient. Massage the truth in. Eventually, it'll stick. All right, because the truth is the truth, and eventually they'll come around to facts. Right? Just gotta work with them. But yeah, like I was saying, they say nothing about the Judge Merchant case, where I believe he donated to the Biden campaign. His daughter is making money off of this whole situation. So they say nothing about that, but Aileen Cannon, who is an immigrant, by the way, a legal immigrant, so she's a woman of color, right? They're criticizing this woman of color, but how dare a Republican ever say anything negative about a person of color? You know, Republicans aren't allowed to do it, but if a Democrat does it, it's okay. It's sound. It's safe. They aren't racist, but we've all seen situations where a Republican has criticized, you know, Fannie Willis or Letitia James, and well, they're only saying that because she's a black woman. Even Fannie Willis got on stage and said that. I believe that was the speech at the church, which is also crazy, giving a speech, you know, about your, you know, outside issues in court in the Lord's house. You're in the Lord's house to praise the Lord, not to try to garner some sympathy from churchgoers. But let's carry on.
Exactly right. Fonnie Willis, you remember when Fonnie Willis took the stand and she said, I'm not on trial, no matter how much you all are trying to put me on trial, right? They're still trying to put her on trial for a relationship that started and ended, mind you, before a grand jury indicted any of these defendants. And so there is zero financial relationship. It has nothing to do with the underlying case. But I will bring it back. One thing that the Trump team has really been scared of this case, Simone. And that's because at its core, the evidence is not just overwhelming. You remember Donald Trump was caught on audio trying to pressure the Republican Secretary of State to find votes here. But it's not just the evidence. It is that this Georgia law provides for a level of transparency that we are not seeing in other cases. This case would have been televised, a la O.J. Simpson. And it would have been televised if it had been scheduled, even while people were early voting in September and October. So they have always been afraid of this case because of the sunlight of transparency. And Alicia, you were right. They, in framing this segment, or Michael.
1 second. Why would Trump be afraid of this being televised? Why? Every time Trump has been put out into the limelight, when he had the mugshot released, his support only grew. Every time you guys slapped him with another indictment, his support only grew. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm sure Trump wants this on television. It will only help him. Just saying. Just saying.
You were right when framing the segment, because he did catch a break this week in both of these cases.
Both of the cases, and I would also note that in Georgia, people have actually pleaded out. Like, let's just be very clear. The Georgia case, we only have a mugshot of Donald Trump because Fani Willis and the sheriff in Fulton County said, Donald Trump, I don't care that he is a former president. He is going to get a mugshot just like everybody else. We only have the only people that have pleaded out in any of the cases before us, any of the indicted cases, is in fact the folks in Georgia. Fani Willis is the only person that has gotten people who were with Donald Trump to flip on him before they went to jail. I'm talking about Michael Cohen. Now, I like Michael Cohen, but he did come around after he was being held accountable. So for the people that are watching this at home and they are saying, Michael Steele is right. Donald Trump has been able to game the system. And now the only case that the American people are going to see adjudicated before them, and they're going to have to read about it because we can't watch it, is this case, the 2016 election interference case in about falsified documents and the cover-up in Manhattan. And we don't know what the jury is going to do on that. We don't know if they're going to go so far and say, yes, he was trying to cover it up and he did these bad things. They may not get to all of those things. They may not come down on that. So it's very disconcerting because we witnessed all of these things. We saw.
Hold on, but before she gets on her soapbox, so she's crying and complaining because the jury probably isn't going to convict Uncle Trump. So she's crying and complaining about that. That the jury is saying, hey, there's no evidence here, so we're not going to convict this guy. Let that one sink in. Let that one marinate for a second. These people are evil. Very, very evil.
And he did these bad things. They may not get to all of those things. They may not come down on that. So it's very disconcerting because we witnessed all of these things. We saw him do it. We saw him hold the documents. We saw him. We heard him on the tape.
But there is hope, though.
Where?
At the end of the day, I mean, this is we the people. We are going to have to step up and vote in historic numbers, Simone. We did it in 2024. This man has never gotten more than 47% of the vote.
Yes.
He will this time around. We saw him hold the documents. We saw Joe Biden hold the documents, but you said nothing about it. We saw Mike Pence hold the documents and you said nothing about it. We saw Hillary Clinton hold the documents and once again, you said nothing about it. So again, is this about fairness or is this about attacking one man because his name is Donald Trump? We all know the truth and we see it. This woman is over here bouncing on a chair, getting angry because the jury ain't gonna convict Uncle Trump. What? I thought y'all were the party of law and order and y'all wanted the facts. You wanted the facts to come out. You wanted the truth. Seems to me that you don't care about the truth and you just exposed yourself. All you care about is getting that one man. And it's not going your way. As it should. Right? As it should. Or as it shouldn't, I guess I should say. Not go their way. it's going the right way, the way that it should go. And that's these cases falling apart one by one. I love it. I love it. Anyway, as always, y'all let me know your thoughts, your opinions on all of this in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.